travel for around 6 weeks. I went to Char Dham. Char Dham of Uttarakhand.
Ooh,
Badrinath, Kedarnath, Yamunotri, Gangotri. That's where I cover that kind of Uttarakhand one. This time we have a plan to go to, and we are working on that, to Amarnath. That's what the
mm,
plan is. So the family, we as a kind of family, there is a kind of discussion going on. So yeah,
that's nice, Prabhu.
yeah.
Are you seeing these benefits of Acharya's commentary?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय स्कंद फाउंडर आचार्य हरि जवाइन से प्रभुपाद की जय नित्य गौरा प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा devotees. We are talking about what makes a commentary as it is commentary, and what we are going to conclude or discussion that we have right now going on is very much applicable to Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya. Similar approach might be for different Sampradaya. So this is pertinent to the Sampradaya that we belong to. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasraya Pratisloka Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kaya. So Bhagavatam is as great as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and center of everything, Sarvasraya. In each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam and in each and every syllable, there are various meanings. So then we saw multiple examples how the same verse can be translated. The word may look a little different, but we are trying to basically understand that what is the meaning of that difference. Why there are difference in the commentary that is given by Srila Prabhupada and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan. And we went through relevance. Teaching has to be relevant to the time, right? We cannot talk something which is not applicable, right? If people are living in the artificial intelligence age, then we cannot talk something that was 100 years back, because then people would be very difficult and it will be very difficult for them to understand. They'll be confused and all of that. So it's very, very important to understand that relevance is very important. Right now, uh, if you have to preach, we're not going to take the example of what was given in 60s and 70s, right? And Prabhupada came in 80s. His example was what he saw at that time. So very, very important. Please note down. Our teaching, our preaching has to be relevant. And then having the right emphasis. Prabhupada emphasized on pure devotional service. So if you read the Bhagavad Gita commentary, either you talk about Sakam Karma or Niskam Karma or Gyan Yoga or Ashtang Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada in every purport is talking about Bhakti Yoga. Please do Bhakti, please do Bhakti. Bhakti is the best. You should engage in devotional service. So, right emphasis versus some philosophical argument. What's going on around? and now what you can take the basis of Shastra to argue against the social problem or problem that is contemporary at that time. So it will change, right? And the intent is different, so wording will change. And then prayana alpayushaha kalyugasmin yuge janah. Teaching has to be for the age of the people or the people who are in that age. Normally in age of Kali, people are very distressed and they have little time. They don't have much time. They have little attention to pay on anything. They are supremely busy. So how we say certain things so that they will catch their attention and they will be captivated by it. So we covered those three topics. The fourth one is its revelation of Acharya. That's very, very, very important. Very, very important. So every Acharya, when they write commentary, that's that's their understanding. That's how Krishna has revealed or Krishna has made realized that person so that he can write commentary based on his understanding. And example is given in Srimad Bhagavatam when Bhagavatam was about to be compiled. Vyasdev was dissatisfied. That's the subject, chapter 4, 5, 6 in Canto 1. And then Narad Muni comes and tells that, I know you have done a lot of great work, but you haven't talked about pure devotional service. And then he gave him example that how by devotional service he had darshan of Krishna. And then he requested Vyasdev to engage in devotional service, pure bhakti. And then through that bhakti, Vyasdev had darshan of Purna Purusha, the absolute person. And then with that realization, with that understanding, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam in detail, talking about pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So each Acharya have their own Lila Spruti, it's called, their own revelation to the pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their own window, Krishna will open particular window for that Acharya depending on their mood to perceive the pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rup Guna, Rup Gun and Lila. Name, form, quality, and pastime. So Nam Rup Gun Lila, we say like that. So that's what it is. It is basically revelation of the Acharya about the pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then simplified for general public. They try to simplify. Like for example, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, we have Bhagavad Gita verse that Krishna spoke. Then we have synonyms, Padavichhed. Take the verse, break it down, and then meaning of each and every word. And then not only that, the meaning should be sufficient, right? The verse is there and meaning of the word is there. So by reading the meaning, you understand what the verse is saying. But no, there is a bhava artha, right? So there is a translation that is given to understand that verse. And not only that, translation is sufficient, right? Now we have bhava artha. Bhava artha means vishesh artha. That should be sufficient. Prabhupada still wrote purport, so that we all can, without any doubt, understand what is the real message. So simplified for generic public. Simplification, simplification, simplification. They say that make it simple, right? So that everybody can understand. So sometimes things will be a little bit simplified. That doesn't mean that it's not saying the same thing. Maybe it will be a multi-step process, rather being a straight one-step process, right? So Acharya can take that type of ownership. Acharya can decide that how particular science can be, a particular philosophy can be presented. So it might appear superficially different, but intent might not be different. Not Acharya logical thinking, philosophical argument, or a speculation. It's knowledge revealed to them by Krishna. It's very, 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 very important point. I would like you all to remember that. That when Prabhupada is making commentary, it is not that it's Prabhupada logical, cohesive, philosophical argument or a speculation. Acharyas do not speculate. Acharya do not take the verses or context to make argument. It's not logical thinking. 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. It's not thinking like that. It's just the knowledge that has revealed to them by Krishna. And as a preacher, as a bona fide preacher, we also do not do any one of these things. Not logical thinking. We don't try to unnecessarily take some philosophy out of it or speculate. Oh, if it says that material world is a tree, that means the tree has this, the tree has that, the tree might be in a forest, or the tree might be in a place where there is some source of water, right? All of that type of speculation we can do. But being a bona fide teacher, preacher, it's very, very important that we only know whatever our acharyas have told. How much we know about anything, as much as Prabhupada has said, as much as our acharyas have said. That much I know. I don't know more, and we should not try to know less. Most of the time we know less, but for sure we don't know more. Okay, we only go up to the extent the knowledge is only revealed up to the extent as acharyas have mentioned. So in your preaching also, or when you are taking classes, don't unnecessarily write something that is your guess, something that you think would be like that. For example, people many times ask uh, questions that how it's possible that Nand Maharaj had millions and millions of cows while Brindavan is small. It's not. I just we today we know that it's 84 miles. So if the place is small, how it's possible that millions and millions of cows can be accommodated? How they will get the accommodation? I mean, this is a chintya. Okay, this is a chintya. We don't unnecessarily speculate our mind like that. Okay, rather we just remember, memorize, learn, share the knowledge that has been given to us by our acharyas. So whatever our acharyas have written in their commentary, it's not their logical thinking, it's not their philosophical argument, and it's not their speculation. It's the knowledge that has revealed to them by Krishna, which means it's as it is. This is as it is. Whatever Prabhupada has written, whatever Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written is as it is. Whatever other saintly person of Madhavacharya Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya Sampradaya has written, those are also as it is. They're bona fide acharya, okay? But they have written based on the mood and mission and the goal that particular preaching program has. Our acharyas have written, in their own way. So we cannot say that commentary of Bhagavad Gita is not matching with the commentary given by some other acharya. No, that's different thing. Our commentary is different thing. But yes, if our commentary is not matching with somebody who is outsider, like college, university, or university or college professor, or a researcher, or a scientist who is not a devotee, he might be a Sanskrit scholar. He will come and then he will look at the verse, and then he will do Sandhi Vicheda, look at the Vibhakti, and then based upon, he will basically give Anvaya, then he will give the translation, finally he will write the Bhavarth and all of that, right? We don't accept those type of commentary because it's not coming from a bona fide source. Okay. But if there is some differences coming from two bona fide acharyas, that means those differences are just because they are from different sampradaya. The overall intent might be same. I'm not saying that it's always same, but most likely it's going to be same. So we are talking about the commentary that is presented in our society. Tomorrow, if you become advanced devotee and you start writing this, you will look for this presentation. I don't know. Once I had presentations, Prabhu was talking about it, and then whatever element you are seeing here, that the element you will try to stick to when you are writing for Back to Godhead magazine, or when you are writing for somewhere else. You will try to stick with this format to make it more bona fide. So our classes, preaching, teaching programs, those are very much aligned with what our acharyas have said. Okay. So I hope you basically remember this. Then with that background, what exactly is as it is in an as it is commentary then, right? So which commentary here or purport is as it is? Which one is as it is? The commentary that's given by Srila Prabhupada or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or Baldev Vidyabhushan, right? Which one is as it is here? By Srila Prabhupada and Baldev Vidyabhushan. Which one we consider as it is, right? As long as it's aligning with some of this concept that is mentioned here, it's as it is. So in fact, actually, all of these commentary that we just went through are as it is. Okay. Every acharya has an apurvatha or a specific style of writing. So style of writing might be different. And more than writing, the way particular word is pronounced, how I can make this understanding more clear to you. Like certain word, the way I would say, you would say, somebody from Hispanic background will say, somebody from Middle Eastern background will say, somebody from European background will say, somebody from American, US background would say, would differ. The pronunciation, the way of saying a certain thing would differ. But ultimately, they're saying the same thing. The language will, the word will be different, the way it sounds different. So their way of saying or their way of writing uh, might be different, but they give a specific emphasis based on the current socio political and spiritual scenario at that relevance that we talked about, right? They give a specific emphasis what and how they would say, so that it's going to be more applicable and realistic for that time. And every acharya has a specific aspruti or revelation given by Krishna. It is certainly not the word to word meaning. Very important. It's not certainly word to word meaning. And it is not certainly the way a verse is translated. And it's not only the way a particular purport is written. Okay, so not the word to word meaning, not the way a verse is translated, and not the way a particular purport is written. Then what is as it is if all of these can be different? That's the very difficult thing to understand. If word to word meanings are different, the way verse is translated is different, the way purports are written is different, then what is as it is if all of these can be different? So next section of discussion will talk that what are some of the principal guidance, and we are going to see a verse that's coming from Jaya Dharma, the Smula Tattva, and what are those elements. So slowly we'll get into that and we'll talk about it. But I would like to see if there is any questions, any doubt, any concern anybody has before we start giving you what are the things that has to be there to make it as it is. Because we see here that there are differences based upon relevance, there are differences based upon the emphasis, there are really differences because it's focused to the audience of that time. So all of that differences are there. There will be definitely no logical thinking, philosophical argument, and speculations. Because if you consider this as a variable and this as a criteria, then the way you think and the way I think would vary, right? So it's not like that. They are saying what is revealing to them, and then question comes: if there is all of these differences, then which one is as it is? And answer is all of them are as it is. Okay, and then we are giving some argument here why they all are as it is, and then there are some elements that will talk 10 tattva that makes uh, writing as it is, even it's going to be different word by word. It's going to be different the way verse is translated. It's going to be different in a particular way the purports are written. All of that differences will be there, but still all of them will be called as it is because they are aligning with a bigger protocol, a bigger guidance or guideline that is given. So we'll talk about that. Before we get there, what questions you have, what you would like to discuss and ask, or if I'm confusing, let's talk about it.
So can I ask some question?
Please ask. Yeah.
Uh, so if I understand probably, the definition of the adjective, kind of, if the intent is same, whether it's word to word or purport translated, may not depending. As you took example, like depending upon which culture, which country, which region someone is, some acharya is writing or translating, or it could be different, but the intent is same. Now, being a devotee, like, I mean, new, uh, I'm trying to understand any of the scripture, and I do not know, because it's the first time I'm reading. How I can interrelate whether its intent is, right, or or misleading or something. I mean, to connect the dots
Right.
between the intents of all the acharya. I mean, intent itself is unknown to me. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So next discussion that we'll do will clarify. So Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Okay. That is the pariyojana. Krishna Prema Pumartho Mahan. That's the pariyojana. Right? Having the unalloyed devotion for Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, that's the goal. Now, Srila Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, all other Acharya, Kaviraj Krishnadas Goswami, all of them, and Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita, all of them will say same thing. It's not like that Srila Prabhupada will say that no, Krishna is Bhagwan later. Right now he is Brahman or he is Paramatma. Not like that. Okay. Everybody will say that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Krishna is saying that Aham Sarvasva Prabhava Mat Sarva Pravardante. So he's saying that there is nobody bigger than me. I am the one who is ruling over everything. Everything belongs to me. Bhoktara Mektab Samsara Loke Maheshwara. So so everybody will align with that. But the way they would express, the way they would say, an example is given water, right? In different language, in different places, somewhere you call it tani, somewhere you call it nira, somewhere you call it pani, right? Like that. There are different. How you call in Telugu, Prabhu? I know Tamil it's called tani, right, Mataji?
Yes,
Pani.
Prabhu.
How you
Tanir.
call in?
Tanir
Oh,
in
tani
Tamil.
also. Tamil also. Tamil. Okay. And in Telugu, how it's
I'm not,
called?
yeah, I'm not in Telugu, but in Hindi called Jal, Pani,
Jal.
Neem.
Right. Exactly. Does it mean different thing or
Not
same
yet.
thing? Eh? Yes. So that overall, that's the intent. We're talking about pani. We're talking about jal. We're talking about thanis. We're talking about water. We're not talking about something else. Okay. So that intent doesn't mean that you change your prayojana. I don't know if you have heard this word sambandha, avidya, and prayojana. I know that this topic is little high, too high for the beginners, but we have to do this. We have to do this in the beginning, and then at the end, maybe if you want, once the course is over, if you like to again go through this and understand this little better, I am okay. But we have to do this in the beginning before we can start, because that will give you the faith, that will give you the understanding, so that if you see some differences in the writing, you would not be misled, you would not be confused. Oh, why there is difference, why there has to be these two different things? No, it's not two different things as long as you say the same thing, right? So that is why I'm trying to give the time to uh, go through this now versus going it later. Okay, so Prabhu, that's a good question, but we have to understand what is that intent. We have to understand what is our goal, and that's what I'm going to do later. Yes. What else? Divya Mataji, do you have something that you want to ask?
No, Prabhuji.
Ask something. You need to ask something. Then I would know that you are thinking about it.
Mm, For me, just like I do not have enough knowledge, or like I should just follow, not question is my, that's how I feel. Like rather than questioning, I should take try to understand what acharyas are saying.
Oh my gosh, this is very good mood. This is very good. I can tell you, very good mood. Yes. Continue, Mataji. Continue.
That's it, Prabhuji. So I do not have enough knowledge or information to even question anything. I just want to follow whatever is written in Prabhupada's book and just try to understand from that
Oh my
standpoint.
gosh. Yes. So we should always keep mood like that. I am being teacher here. That doesn't mean that I know everything. Or you being on the other side, that doesn't mean that you also know everything. You know, we are basically still a student. By teaching, I'm learning. By being a student, you are learning. So we are learning. We're always going to be learner. But Mataji made a very, very good point that I wanna, put some emphasis. There are two approach when we learn. Okay, the discussion that we are going to have, or the one that we are doing right now, the subject that we are talking is transcendental. It's beyond the uh, you know mode of passion, ignorance, or goodness. It's beyond. And living beings, as a conditioned living being, we have still some of these gunas. So at this stage, we might not be competent enough to understand something which is supremely high. So if I do not understand, there are two approach, at least two, broader approach. Let me put it that way. One approach is that you drag that teaching down where you are and make it easy for you to understand. Okay, I know this, but I drag it down where I am and make understanding out of what I can get based on my current position. That's one approach. Second approach is that, my dear Lord, I know I do not have understanding of what you are talking. It seems that I understand it, but still there are many elements of your teaching to Arjun, teaching to the mankind that I am not able to understand. So you push yourself, you go higher, and for now, based on whatever intelligence we have, we take it as it is. We take it that yes, this is inconceivable, this is happening. Now sometimes people will say that that's also not good, but that's not true. First you accept it, follow the teaching, and then slowly, it will be more clear for you. So instead of dragging the teaching down where you are, you should drag yourself up where the message is present and just put faith inside it and take it as it is. When Srila Prabhupada was on this planet, uh, he was making so many Western as his disciple. So one of the things that disciples have to do when they see their spiritual master, you have to pay sastang, dandavat. You just lay down on the floor and pay your due obeisances to your spiritual master. You should do that. So one of the disciple, being from the Western background, was asking and saying, Prabhupada, it doesn't, I don't feel like to do it. I don't feel like to bring myself down. It sounds very difficult for me. Prabhupada said, first you do it. Keep on doing. By doing, you will feel like to do. Making sense to everyone or no? Huh? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
So I might not be humble. I know I'm not. But when we have our senior devotees in front of us, try to be humble in front of them. Don't pretend. Don't pretend. No, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji. Because this is how you will become humble. Try to listen their instruction. Don't look at this person is like that. No. You are failing the test. I cannot hear Ramacharya Das. Why? Ramacharya is not a good person. Ramacharya's behavior is not good. Ramacharya does certain things that is not, then I'm failing the test. Okay. The real mood is that, yes, it's coming from my authority. Prabhu has asked me to do this seva. And when he's asking me, it's coming with potency. And my perfection is that with due sincerity, I'll serve. Whatever service has been given to me, I'll serve it for the pleasure of the person who has given me this service. Because that person is serving for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So you are serving for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, but not by cutting someone in the middle who are giving you the instructions. Okay. So as a sparing devotee, as we are trying to be devotee, we all have a society, congregation, devotees to deal with. It's very, very important. Very, very, very important. that be obedient to senior devotee. Be obedient to the devotee who are authority, who are officially authorized. Listen them. Work under their guidance. It's always, 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 always going to be good for you. Always, I can tell you, it's always going to be good for you. But if you try to be too smart and you act like that, I know more than somebody else, very, very, very dangerous for your spiritual progress and for the progress of society you belong to. So we always, with due submission, serve our seniors. What does it mean? It means that you try to practice, higher way of living than ordinarily you live. And that's how you get the mood. Maybe in the beginning, you might not be doing right, but due course of time, you will get it. You'll get it, and that quality will develop in you. So Mataji, the point that she brought is very, very good. It's very important that we don't challenge the teaching of Shastra. We don't challenge. If you challenge, then we'll not learn. Or if I become humble, yeah, it's my weakness that it's my pride that I cannot become humble. But if I become humble, it's always going to be for my benefit. Shastra says that humility will help and it will help. So some of these teachings and practices that's presented to us, we should be submissive to it. Narottam Das Thakur says, Guru Shastra Sadhu Vakya Tineta Kariyayakya. What does it mean? The teaching that's coming from a spiritual master, the teaching coming from sadhu, our seniors, our authority, our peers, and teaching coming from Shastra. Tineta Kariyayakya, Ekya means all this teaching when it comes to us without any doubt, receive it and work on it, and that's how you will progress. You will progress in the path of bhakti. So that was a good point, Divya Mataji, that you mentioned. Yes, I'm not very competent. I'm insignificant. I'm not qualified to understand this, but I'll take it as it's presented. If our Acharya is saying Bhakti Yoga is topmost yoga, I'll follow Bhakti Yoga. I'm not going to be saying now that I don't know if Bhakti Yoga is best or if Gyan Yoga is best. Our Acharya says Bhakti Yoga is best. Somebody else is saying Gyan Yoga is best. Whom should I listen? No. No, 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 no. Bhakti Yoga, your Acharya, your spiritual master is saying that do Bhakti. Because by that, you will have the perfection of the Gyan Yoga, you'll have the perfection of Ashtanga Yoga, because it's coming from your spiritual master. So the tuning has to change. The way we are seeing certain things has to change. Prabhupada said that all I did is follow the instruction of my spiritual master. Now he's Jagat Guru. Millions and millions of people all over the planet. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. What Prabhupada did, he never said that I added something. All I did, he said, is I just carried as a postman. I didn't add, I didn't subtract. That's Prabhupada. See, who he is. So these are some of the mood, and that's why I'm going to go through as it is, because this as it is will give me opportunity to talk some of these things, so that when I start talking about Vacha Bega, Mansa Krodha Bega, you'll say, oh, if I start controlling the beg of my hawk and genitals and belly, then what will happen? No, we have to try. Yes, I'm not there, but pray at due course of time, we will get there. So this discussion will give me, there are still more to come, but this will give me opportunity to touch upon some of those concepts. Okay, anything anybody has before we get to the, I would like to have some discussions, because this is very important for us to understand some of these concepts before we can start technically getting into chapter by chapter. Otherwise, you would say it doesn't make sense to me. No, We are not saying about it's not making sense to me. If it's not making sense to you, pray to Krishna, pray to your deity, pray to your spiritual master, my dear Guru Maharaj, and dear Lord, please give me some intelligence and the strength so that I can understand. I can understand your teaching, and then it will reveal. But if you reject it, that rejection is not good. Not good. Not good. Okay, what else?
Can I have some questions for you?
Yes, Fauzi, please ask.
So, the approaches you mentioned, Prabhuji, right? I mean, be submissive. So that's the second one. The first one you mentioned, Prabhuji, where bring the teaching or mm, the way it is taught to individual level, and then make to effort to understand the teaching. Is any examples out there, Prabhuji, like any acharya in the past or any example? I know the second one is always like I will always pray to the God, hey God, Lord, give me some potency or some kind of a strength or some kind of intelligence where I can learn something new. But first one, there is an examples in the
Where we go up,
yes, Prabhuji. Now the first
many.
example is a drag the teaching where you are and make
Oh,
you
so you are asking the example for the first one.
right.
Yes. So the first one is very common, Prabhu, to understand. You know why?
Mhm.
So we all have Vedic background, right? And we are coming from a Vedic background where we have seen some sort of worship happening in our family. So in our childhood, we have seen Indra worship. We have seen, Lord Ganesha being worshipped. We have seen Lord Shiva being worshipped. We have seen this Baba, that Baba being worshipped, this puja, that puja, so many thousands and thousands of uh, throughout the year, there is, so many puja, part, it's all happening, right? Now, we have been doing all of that. And then suddenly somebody says, Swadharman Padite Jamamekam Sharanam Braja. Forget all this, abandon all variety of religion. Just come and surrender unto me. Aham sarvasya prabhava mut sarva pravantate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanita. Now, suddenly Krishna, 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 Krishna is everything. Krishna is saying, right? So it's too much. So what people does, what is the problem if I go to Indra? People say, and I have heard it, even our devotees say, what is the problem if I go to Ganesha and say, give me the bhakti of Lord Krishna? You know? So that's kind of dragging down. Okay, I cannot leave the worship of Lord Shiva. I'll go to Lord Shiva and ask him, my dear Lord, I have worshipped you so far, but I want to worship now Lord Krishna. Something like that, people say things like that. The second offense is that the 10 offenses against the holy name. The second offense is that it is also offense to consider the name of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. So it doesn't say that you need to have the disrespect. No, never, never. I would never, and we should never disrespect for devotee does not have disrespect for ants, for flies. We are not disrespectful. Forget about Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is exalted personality. Lord Ganesha is exalted personality. But we are not trying to basically bring the teaching down to make everything harmonized. Rather, our endeavor is to come to the stage where we have firm faith that Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarvakara Siddhihaya. By doing the devotional service of Krishna, everything else will be perfected. Rather than thinking that Krishna का ही भक्ति कर लेते हैं और थोड़ा शिवा का भी, I'll do some bhakti of Lord Shiva also. I'll do some bhakti of this, I'll go this temple, I'll go that temple, I'll do everything, and everything is good. I'm not saying that it's going to be detrimental for you. But life span is very short. There's a lot of things that you have to learn in Krishna consciousness. So if you are more focused on one path, your progress will be very quick. Unless until you have some leadership roles and you have to network and all of that. So, but in our personal sadhana, we are trying to align with the teaching that's presented. Okay, so not dragging the teaching down and then harmonizing it, rather going up. And yes, Krishna himself is saying that Aham Sarvasva Prabhava. I am uh, the most uh, powerful person. Prabhava means powerful, and I am the supreme father of all living being. So yes, if Krishna is saying that, we take it. So that's the point I'm trying to make. When an example can be given when Prabhupada came to West, many of those personality who joined our movement, they were not from the Vedic background, so they knew nothing, right? So for them, when Prabhupada said that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, first time they heard sometimes Bhagwan is a person and there is a supreme person, Krishna. They got it. They started jumping and running behind it. But for Indian people or Vedic people from the Vedic background, it took time. Why Krishna only? I still see that people when they see Lord Ganesha, they closely close their eyes. But if they're seeing picture of Lord Krishna, they're not, they are still working on it to have the same respect. So, so you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
So the quickly we can come up. Here is the thing: devotee does not mean narrow-minded, but devotee means focused. You know, I'm not criticizing anything. I'm not narrow-minded. I know I have a lot of respect, and who am I to talk anything about anybody? But my current priority is that Sarvabhavena Bharata, with all of my emotions, with all of my intelligence, with all of my intensity, I'm going to focus it on the teaching that Brahmata Gauriya Sampradaya is presenting. Understand that teaching, and with that teaching, at due course of time, Saraguna Samahite, all other teachings will be well understood. Okay, but I'm not uh, criticizing anybody. I have never criticized anybody, but at the same time also, I'm not running so many places. I'm running at the feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. We should run at the feet of Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu, our acharyas, and they will, the course of time, empower. So take it in a very positive way, please, and understand the intent behind it. As I'm saying, more focus. I want to be more focused than being distracted. That's all I'm saying. With due respect to the teaching that is presented, and with that, your speed will be fast. The realization will be fast. The learning will be fast. You know, Otherwise, it will take so many years. And then after 10, 15 years, we'll say, I have been chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's not working for me. I need to try something else. I have been, following XYZ. It's not working for me. I should go somewhere else. All of that thing. Devotee here is not liking me. They are not good with me. I should do. All of that happens because your sadhana is not very focused. Your goal is not very focused. If our goal is focused, that in this lifetime I have to touch the feet of Krishna. I have to do something to please Guru Shastra and Sadhu, all the devotees who are in my neighborhood. I have to please them. If those things are very clear, you will have less difficulties. You'll move quickly. You'll have less problem. So these are some of the things, I'm trying to say. Instead of we trying to make everything, the way I see and perceive, I change myself and become the way our acharyas wants us to be. You got it, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, thank you, brother.
So that is the point. Dragging down means still staying, confused. Krishna says that yo evam mam ashamuddho janati purushottamam sarvabid sarvabhavena sarvabid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Krishna is saying in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that yo mam evam ashamuddho janati purushottamam. O Arjun, yo means that person, mam to himself. He says those person who knows me as Purushottama, Ashamudha, without any doubt. Without any doubt, those personality who know me as Purushottam, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he says, Shas Sarvabid. You will study that. Shas Sarvabid, he says. Vid means knower. Sarva means all knowledge. Shas Sarvabid means that knower of all the knowledge. Prabhu, please go and read, see 15:19 in Bhagavad Gita. He says, the knower of all the knowledge. Only by knowing that absolute personality of Godhead is Krishna, who is a person, he is knower of all the knowledge, Krishna says. Krishna is saying. And then he says, Bhajati Mam Sarabhavena. He engaged in my devotional service with all of it, all of his intention, with all of his emotions, with all of his force, all of his strength that he has. He uses all of that in my devotional service because he does not have doubt. And he knows that the supreme ultimate truth is Krishna, who is person. Right? So Krishna is saying that. So now if I stay confused, no, I mean Krishna is supreme person, but there is some other person, there is here knowledge, there is their knowledge. But Krishna also says so sarvabid, knower of all the knowledge. Right? So that's what syncing our line with the higher teaching. That will make quick purification, rather slowly and living the life with our foundational understanding that I have from our birth, the place where we were born, the practices that we were part of, and all of that. Okay. So, making sense, Prabhu? Satyanarayan Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody has anything else before? So from next week, we'll start this beautiful series of discussion. And I want you to, a little bit relax because this is going to be a little bit heavier, but, we'll get through it. We have few slides and then I think we should be good. Yeah, there are still many slides to go. But I want to make sure that it's not too much to digest. Divya Mataji, are you happy now? Anything you have before we adjourn?
No, Prabhuji.
Kalavati Mataji, any correction? Anything that I said was wrong? Please correct me.
No corrections, bro. It was very nice the way you explained everything.
I need some correction, Mataji.
You're perfect, bro. There's nothing to. We have to learn so much from you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. So we'll adjourn here. Is it okay, Bhaskar Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good, Prabhu.
Any realization you have today that you'd like to share? Anyone?
The only thing is,
Uh-huh.
I know, like we cannot question the acharyas, and like at the same time we cannot I'm not talking about like our acharyas. I'm talking about general, like if you take it for an example, like Nityananda, right? He's not our Nityananda. I'm talking about
I totally understand. I know him.
Yeah, yeah. So people like blindly believed him, and they wasted their life. So we cannot do that, right?
No, we cannot do that.
Yeah. That is the only thing was coming in my mind when you are talking
very
about
good point. Yes.
Yeah. Because otherwise, like if we fall under like that kind of ashram or
you become
under
victimized,
like
right?
Yeah, that acharya, then we'll be like wasting our life.
100%. This is very good point you mentioned, Prabhu. So we definitely don't want to, get into those type of paths, and that's why in the beginning, before we decide where I'm going to camp, we have to research. Is it a safe place? Is it a bona fide place for camping or not? Does the people who camp, where they have gone, all of that, understanding, and there definitely we need intelligence.
Yes.
There,
that time you
oh yeah,
that
that's
time you
very
need
good
to
point.
ask questions and still you come to a conclusion, okay, this is the correct path which I'm doing.
Exactly.
You cannot like simply blind believe everything.
Knowing the acharyas of that lineage, and knowing the stature of the follower, knowing everything. Yes, because that we have to do. Fortunate enough that due to our previous life agyat sukriti, we got association of devotees who were follower of Brahmada Gaurya Sampradaya. But we had that agyat sukriti. That's why this appealed more to you or to I or to everybody here. And now we got into the process, and as we are growing, we are finding that, oh, this is very deep. The teaching of Mahaprabhu is extremely, now there was some point when somebody was telling me, I just took it as it is. Now, 15 to 20 years almost being into the movement now, I have studied, and I now I'm developing my own insights by reading all of these scriptures, and I see, oh my gosh, it's the bhav of Gopi Bharta Pad Kamla Das Das Anudasa is inconceivable. It's like so high, So yes, and that is my form belief that understanding is helping me understand something which I would not have understand otherwise. So yes, but in the beginning, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter talks the faith are in the goodness, faiths are in the passion, and faiths are in the ignorance. So I don't want to put my faith in something that is of ignorance type. I don't want to put my faith something that is of the passion type. I don't want to put my faith in something that is of goodness type. Our goal is to put our faith in something that is transcendence, and that has happened because of the mercy of the devotee. Many devotee in St. Louis, they receive the mercy of our previous senior devotees such as Lal Gopal Prabhu and many other devotees. So I always see them, I say that just look at their feet. Your duty, because you don't know how much lifetime they have saved. The devotee who taught me science of Krishna consciousness, people, I mean, never ever, I just follow, whatever he says is right for me, because you don't know how much he has saved my life, how many birth and death I had to go through to come here. But devotee has power. They can, make you jump through many, many birth and, death, and say that chant name of Krishna. Prabhupada did that. So yes, Agyat Sukriti has come upon us, and we are the beneficiary of it. But at the same time, the intelligence part is there, and that should be properly used. You made a very, very good point. We don't want to basically, get into the path of tamoguni or rajaguni or even up to extent satoguni. You want to get to the path of Shuddha Sattva that is given to us by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Chandra Swami Maharaj, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jagannath Das Baba Maharaj, Gaur Das Baba Maharaj, all of our, acharyas, Mahaprabhu himself, who is none different than Krishna. So that's very good point. We need to, otherwise you would be, cheated, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but also at the same time, when we are on the right path, then run. Don't now look at this store, what is there, look at that, place, look at, now I'm on the right track. It's marathon. Let me, in this lifespan, cover, as much mileage as I can. Let me, cover, run through it. That's also, so yes, this is, and that's what we'll, study. We'll talk to harmonization, it's called. How to harmonize. I'm not very advanced, but I came to Krishna consciousness when I was married. I had sons and daughters, so family is my priority. My Krishna consciousness is depending on the health and other things that my family, because I will get distracted. Whatever I'm practicing, I cannot practice. So not being too emotional, being very practical and harmonizing things is very important. So in bhakti, we always harmonize, not too lethargic and also not too emotional, rather what is need for the time, and then we do that. Is good enough, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll adjourn today. Vanchkalpataru Vyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyavasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Isimal Bhaktavind ki jai Anant Koti Vaishnavind ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you all next
Hare
Saturday. So this is our time. Even if I forget to send the message, 1 o'clock, please. Because Saturday is a little busier for me. I had my morning, temple programs. Then I had Bhakti Sastri at 11 o'clock that went until 12:30. And then I said, oh my gosh, I want to. So I just got some time, send you the message. So 1 o'clock is fixed time for you. So please, unless and until we send the different notice, keep that time open for this association.